All right, so in this video, I wanted to cover my top 5 sneakers right now for comfort as well as breathability and just lightweight sort of feels on feet. Definitely summer ready sort of pairs. I've been wearing a couple newer ones since I did my top 10 of summer video, and there's a couple of them that really stand out to me. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. So runner up, probably my most comfortable shoe of the year, one of the top 2 or 3. It keeps going back and forth, but I'm gonna still stick with the New Balance Fresh Foam X 1080 V13. This thing is an absolute beast. And these do retail at $165. Super crazy comfortable on the midsole, offer wide and extra wide versions. It's an extremely good pair of sneakers. I don't really have it in the top 5 for this video, only because the upper is a little bit thicker than the other ones that I'm going to be talking about in this video. And primarily for this video, I'm really trying to think of like the lighter weight, more breathable options for your feet. So when we have those like 90-degree days out there, these are the ones that I personally think are going to be the best for my feet. 1080 V13s do fit true to size, and they are super good. Like, I can't say enough good things about this model. It's insanely soft and squishy on feet. The perfect vacation shoe, and so on. So the number 6 spot is going to go here. And moving into the number 5 spot, we do have the Nike Pegasus 41. Now, I've been wearing this shoe for the last couple weeks, and I'm really pleased with what they've done to the Pegasus line so far. They do have air zoom in the forefoot. They also do have Nike React X in the midsole, making it nice and soft, but also like not as soft as Zoom X, but a little bit better than Nike React. So it's kind of like a hybrid in between instead of doing the dual density thing. The funny thing is I tried these on next to my Pegasus Turbos from back in the day, which I thought were the most amazing things on feet. And these actually felt better on feet than the Turbos did, which is just crazy to see the steady evolution of the sneaker cushioning and the sneaker comfort, and knowing that brands are continuing to evolve what they have. Now, this one does have the thickest knit out of the 5 that I'm going to be showing you guys. That is primarily why it is in the number 5 spot, but it is pretty breathable with the engineered mesh. You do have little reinforcements on the sides as well. The overall comfort is pretty good as well. You have a nice amount of padding around the heel collar and on the tongue. And stylistically, I actually really like this version as well. It might be my favorite version of a Pegasus line to date. I think that it's very stylish, something that I would consider buying another colorway of because I'm already beating this one up so much. I forgot to mention it, but if you guys want to buy any of the shoes that I'm going to be talking about in this video, feel free to use the links in the description of the video. It'll take you over to the respective sites like Nike, New Balance, and so on. And if you guys do use my links, it does give me a little bit of a kickback, supports my family and the channel immensely when you guys do that. So thank you so much for anybody that uses the links in the video. The Nike Pegasus 41 does fit true to size in my opinion, and they retail at $140. And in my mind is one of the best in class for the product. Like, it's just the overall pair that's not too soft and squishy, it's not too firm. It's like the perfect in-betweener pair of shoes. It is the Daily Racehorse pair from Nike, so I understand why that is the case. If you're looking for something more breathable from Nike, you can go the Vaporflies. That is definitely a better way to go if you're looking for much more breathable. However, the width on the outsole is a little bit too narrow, personally for myself. That's why this one's kind of a catch-all, and I actually like this one a little bit better. So number 4 on my list, comfortable, breathable, lightweight. You do have the Asics Nova Blast 4, which features that FF Blast Plus. Flight Foam is the Asics version. Fresh Foam is the New Balance version, for those that didn't know the difference. That's probably why they just say FF Blast Plus. They kind of changed it up a little bit. But crazy amount of foam on this midsole, definitely a huge stack of foam, and then it's a little bit wider as well. You do have wide options on this shoe also if you need even more wide. I love the liner in this shoe. It's very plush, it's very comfortable. The tongue is like kind of a neoprene type material. I do like a more traditional tongue, but this one is a little bit more lightweight and just overall has a nice feel once you actually get it locked in and on your foot. Engineered mesh upper is pretty decent. It's fairly breathable. It's not the most breathable one, but it is very light and it is very comfortable, which is primarily why this is on the list. But the breathability is not as good as the next 3 that I'm going to be showing you, which is why this is at the number 4 spot. A lot of people love the Nova Blast. I understand why. This is my 4th version of it, and they keep getting better, bigger, and wider, and just overall, it's a really good experience on feet. The Asics Nova Blast 4 does retail at $140, and I would say that they do fit true to size as well. All right, so the number 3 spot on my list is gonna go to this pair right here. This is the Adidas Adizero Takumi Sen 10. This is one of those models that I've been wanting to try for a while now. It looks sleek. It's a nice light version of the Adizero line, which most of them are fairly light anyway, but this one is exceptionally light on feet. I would say it does fit true to size as well. However, it is a very narrow shoe, which is probably the reason why this is number 3 spot instead of number 2. But the upper is insanely breathable, as you could see right through it. For that reason, like if you're looking for lightweight, comfortable, and breathable, it hits those 3 boxes pretty hard, and these things are incredibly nice on feet. This is one of those shoes that traditionally I would not like because of the narrowness of the heel. It's definitely like a running shoe where you can go fast, and a lot of times they usually don't use a lot of heel width in those type of sneakers. But this is one of those shoes that really changes the game for me because I like the shoe so much that I actually lock down my laces and tie my shoes like I'm supposed to, like a big boy. But I actually have to do it because it adds to the stability when you lock down the laces, and then you don't feel as wobbly in the heel. However, I do still wish the heel was a little bit bigger. That being said, this is a tremendous pair of sneakers. They retail at 180, so on the higher side, but it is very comfortable on feet. Lightstrike Pro, man, I'm telling you, is really, really good stuff. And something that I notice more when I'm running around with the dogs and stuff and chasing the kids and stuff is it's pretty snappy stuff, and I can understand why it is like a race-ready fast sort of foam out there instead of like the Adidas Boost, which is very responsive as well. I would say this is 2 or 3 times more responsive than Adidas Boost, but that's just my personal opinion from my experience. I'm also like a more heavy set dude, so there's people that run like gazelles and like are skinny like gazelles running in shoes like this, and they appreciate it as well. But when you have a heavier set guy running with the Lightstrike Pro, it's insanely good stuff. The only other thing that I wish they would do on this shoe is make this semi-gusseted, because the tongue does flop around left to right. I don't really love that. And also the width on the heel, as I already mentioned. But otherwise, this is a pretty exceptional shoe. If Adidas made a wider Lightstrike Pro model like the Invincible Run, like I've said a million times, I'm telling you guys that will destroy the market. It would be the one, it would be my favorite comfort shoe probably of the year, because it's so, so good, the combination of everything that they offer. I also forgot to mention this does have the rods, the hard plastic in the middle of the shoe, so it does have a little bit of a roller action, but it's not so severe that you can't just walk in these casually. This is a shoe that I personally would say that you could rock casually, but this again is just my own personal opinion. Now, moving on to the number 2 spot is another pair of shoes that honestly I was not expecting to be this good. This is an incredible pair of sneakers for the price point. I believe the retail is 130 on these. This is the Atzo SL2. I believe the SL stands for super light. This does feature Light Strike though, LS, Light Strike, SL, it's kind of confusing. But this does feature Light Strike and Light Strike Pro. I believe the Light Strike Pro is sandwiched in between. It is crazy. You can see that little Light Strike Pro section go away as you're stepping around. The funny part about these is you put them on and they're fairly comfortable. Like, it feels good. It's not the softest, squishiest foam, but it's a nice soft foam underfoot. But when you actually start running around in these things, like I'll take the dogs out. As soon as you take the dogs out of the house, they just jet. So like, I'm like running in these things like pretty snappy pace, and they're crazy. Like, they feel so good on feet. It feels like I'm going faster than I probably am because of the snappiness of the shoe underfoot. And the reason why this one is in the number 2 spot over the more expensive big brother of the Adizero Tumi Sen 10 is because of the width of the heel. It's a little bit wider. It also has a traditional style tongue that I do like, although I wish it was gusseted. It's still nice that it has a traditional padding, but it's not too thick, but it's enough there that I feel comfortable. It's easier to get on for myself. Overall, the $130 price point is much better than the $180 price point. You don't have as much breathability, but it is very breathable as well. The midsole foam setup is really nice. The width is nice. They do fit true to size, and it's the cheapest option out of the shoes that I had out here. I posted these when they were on sale on Adidas website for 100 bucks. I just did my video on them. So hopefully somebody took advantage of them at that price point, because honestly, at a $100 shoe, it might be the best in the market for that price point. But they only retail at 130, but a really, really solid shoe, and definitely surprised me, and is honestly the inspiration for me redoing and just doing this video for you guys right here for lightweight, breathable, comfortable shoes, because this one was like insane to me when I got it. I was like, wow, the value that you get in this one is much better than something you get in bigger packages sometimes, and very, very good on feet. All right, so we made it to the number 1 spot. If you guys are enjoying this video, please drop a like on the video. If you have other like comfort sneaker videos, comparisons between some shoes that you'd like to see like in more detail, leave those comments for me. Honestly, I'm always looking for fun new content to create with regards to like this comfort zone that we have like established. Anyways, the number 1 spot shouldn't be a surprise to most of you guys. This is still the one that I'm rocking with the most. I'm gonna need another pair because these ones are kind of beat. This is the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V4. Bang for the buck, these things are insane. These do retail at $140 as well. They do come in wide versions also, which I do prefer a wide version in this shoe. And the width is excellent. You do have a nice wide base. The heel stack is huge with the foam. Also, the best part that I like is the forefoot has a lot of width in the forefoot as well. Personally, I like the extra little toe room. The Phantom Fit upper is really nice as well. It's something that doesn't maybe look as glorious because it does get a little bunched, but it's super, super crazy breathable. It's very lightweight as well. I love what they did around the collar. It's padded minimally. It's definitely noticeable, but it's not so big and bulky that it could be a distraction or just give you added heat, something that you may not want in a fast shoe like this. You do have that same sort of tongue layout as you do on the Nova Blast. Not my favorite. That's probably my biggest gripe about the shoe. I wish it did have just like a little bit of a standard traditional tongue, thinner, similar to the heel cushion, but just a similar lockdown. For me, personally, it just makes it easier to put on, but you know, that is kind of a minimal complaint. The fuel cell in here is crazy soft and squishy. I would say undoubtedly this is the softest foam out of all of them out here. This one's softer than Zoom X even. Like, it's insanely soft and squishy in the hand and on feet. As a heavier set guy, again, walking around in these things, you do feel a crazy amount of heel squish. You do feel a lot of forefoot as well. The heel toe transition is just super soft and smooth, but it's also pretty snappy as well because you do have the fuel cell in here, which makes this thing get up and go. So the difference between fuel cell and Fresh Foam X is that Fresh Foam is the recovery foam, kind of the soft cloud-like landing sort of stuff, but the fuel cell is kind of the faster, more responsive foam out there, which means you can get up and go in these a little bit faster than you can in the Fresh Foam X. Although, I'll tell you guys, the foams are so good nowadays, both of these ones, that I feel like both of them are pretty snappy and pretty good on feet. That being said, this one's number one though, because it is light, it's breathable, it's comfortable, probably the most comfortable out here in my opinion, and the one that I've just beat up the most and worn the most, because it's kind of tried and true now. It's like a nice premium package in a $140 pair of shoes. You do have the $225 or $250 Elite version as well. Feels very, very similar. The upper looks very similar, but for an everyday pair of sneakers, if you're looking for something really soft, really breathable, lightweight, this is a great option. I wore these ones when I went to Arizona. I wore these ones when I went to Vegas. It's just a super comfortable pair of sneakers. And one that I was kind of worried, like, is my foot gonna feel fatigued wearing something so soft? It didn't feel fatigued at all. Honestly, it felt really good. And somebody that has, and the softer feel on my feet, probably better for my joints at this age. But overall, like, I was really, really impressed. Now, again, if you don't like that softer and squishier feel, if it makes you feel fatigued when you're wearing them, then my recommendation would be something a little bit firmer, like the Pegasus 41s. This is kind of the catch-all. I think this is a great pair. That's probably the one I would recommend out of these ones to somebody that doesn't like the soft and squishy, which is why this is on the kind of the lower end of my list. But what do you guys think about my list? Leave a comment in the comment section. Have you tried any of these? If you have, leave a comment on things that you like or dislike about the models. Again, if you guys want to buy any of the ones I talked about in this video, please use the links in the description of the video and make your purchases through my links to the websites. Much appreciated when you guys do that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed though. Have a good rest of the day, and hopefully see you back on the channel for some more sneaker content soon. All right, peace guys.